Welcome back to Dixie Alley Weather Center. My name is Caleb Crick. Today is Saturday, September 27th, 2025, and I've got a lot of updates for you today, going top to bottom, the most importance to the least importance, starting with our tropical threat today, Humberto and Imelda's strength and tracks. I'll be going through those today, the latest model guidance, what I'm expecting to see with these systems, strength and tracks over the next few days, and what I expect to happen with these systems as we go into the beginning of next week. I'll also be talking about the flash flooding across the U.S. East Coast, major flooding possible over the next few days, not just with this tropical system, but with the front that is going to be sitting across the East Coast as we go throughout the next couple of days, causing a lot of moisture to build, causing a lot of flooding rainfall over the next few days, and then we'll have this system move up that will cause more insult to injury, a lot more rain over the next week or so across much of the East Coast, areas picking up 5 to maybe 15 or 20 inches locally over the next few days. I'll be talking about what areas I expect to see the most rain and what areas need to be prepared for this big flash flooding threat over the next few days. I'll also be talking about the present and future weather patterns across the Dixie Alley. Quiet weather remains the story for farther off to the west areas, but we will start to see the return of severe weather in some means across parts of the Dixie Alley as we go later into next week and into the weeks following. All this and more included in this video, so let's get right into it. Here's a look at the view from satellite imagery of the Western Atlantic Ocean and the East Coast. We've been looking at this for quite some time over the past couple of days, and this is just to give you an overview of what is going on right now across the Atlantic Ocean. The main story that is going on right now, we got Hurricane Humberto. This is right here, this huge, I call it huge because in intensity, this is a huge hurricane. Not in size, though. This is a pretty small hurricane in size, very, very powerful. Don't underestimate this system. It will become positive. There is a chance this system becomes a Category 5. Humberto could become a Category 5 over the next few days. Something that is very interesting is that all three hurricanes that have occurred in the Atlantic Ocean this hurricane season have been Category 4 or greater, which just shows you the environment out there. It is very, very favorable for development. Although we have had no hurricane landfalls in the U.S., thank God, this year, there is the chance for a hurricane landfall as we go through the next couple of days, albeit not really high now, as I'll show you in just a minute. Here's a look at our other system. This is Tropical Depression 9 now, classified this morning by the National Hurricane Center. It will become a tropical storm as we go throughout, possibly as early as this evening through the overnight hours tonight. This could already be a tropical storm moving to the north and northwest, not at a very rapid pace. This will move pretty slow, probably about the same speed that Humberto is moving right now. It will speed up a little bit, but then once again, we do, as we go through days 3 to 5, the track becomes very, very uncertain. We do expect this to slow down as Humberto will have a great influence on what the system will do. We do expect Humberto to speed up, and because it is stronger than we once expected it to be, we do expect it will have a greater pull on this system and possibly pull it away from the United States. Now, it's not locked in at this moment, but there is greater chances of that happening now. And you can also see this low pressure system that is sitting over the Appalachian Mountains right now, causing a lot of rainfall over the next few days. Rising motion causing a lot of flooding rainfall across the Carolinas and coastal Georgia as we go throughout the next couple of days. And that will just add problems as this system, even if it doesn't impact the United States, even if this system does not make landfall in the United States, there will still be big problems with the flash flooding. Though the track is tending to curve farther off out to sea, we will still see impacts, storm surge, very high waves, very dangerous rip currents, and flash flooding still in play. Imelda will cause some level of problems to the United States, and Humberto will influence the track of this system as we go throughout the next few days. So here's a look at our official cone of uncertainty from the National Hurricane Center right now of Tropical Depression 9. You can see it does have this moving initially in the direction of the East Coast. We do believe that so far most of the models are in agreement that this will move pretty much off to the straight off to the northwest. But it's as we get farther off into the future, Humberto may have a greater influence on the system. Things that we didn't see happening earlier may be happening now. Humberto may speed up, is a much stronger system than we originally thought, and may have a greater influence on this system. It's all a matter of time before we know more of the details. very, very hard system to track as we go throughout the next few days. But don't worry, I've got you covered here on the Dixie Alley Weather Center Weather Channel. Models each tell something different as you go farther off into the future. As we get into the next 3 to 5 days, once you get up to about this point here, all the models scatter everywhere. Most of the models are in agreement. About 2/3 of the models are in agreement with this getting pulled out to sea by Humberto, which is the most likely scenario. Yesterday I was talking about the more likely scenario being that this would run into the United States. Thank goodness that the scenario has changed. At least the most likely path of the system has changed and trended off and away from the United States, but this system will stall and slow down still and cause possibly major flooding impacts along the East Coast, and not just flooding, but very dangerous seas and some very strong winds over the next few days. Let me note that there are tropical storm watches currently in effect for portions of the coast of Florida. This includes Melbourne, Cape Canaveral Beach, down towards Fort Lauderdale. I don't think Fort Lauderdale is currently included, and neither is Jacksonville, Florida yet. But you probably will be included down the road with some of these tropical storm watches and possible tropical storm warnings. Tropical storm impacts and dangerous seas are possible over the next few days for these areas along the coast of Florida as this wind field will really expand. Continue to monitor for the latest tracks. That's what you could do. I don't expect this to be a very serious situation along the coast of Florida at least, but there will be some impacts with some beach erosion, some dangerous seas, and some of the bad weather that will come with this system and a lot of rainfall. Expansion will be likely of these watches and potential warnings up to the north as we go throughout the next few days. So here are the areas that I am concerned about for this potential tropical system. Though we don't know for sure if it will make landfall, the odds are still low that it will make landfall on the East Coast now. But just heads up to some areas, there will be impacts from this system no matter what. Even if it misses the East Coast, doesn't make landfall, there will be flash flooding, very dangerous seas, and some tropical storm-like conditions for many areas along the East Coast. Here are the areas that I'm concerned about: the East Coast of Florida, East Coast of Georgia, the coast, basically all the coastal regions in the Dixie Alley, all the East Coast regions in the Dixie Alley. Just heads up, a tropical storm or hurricane will develop and move towards the East Coast as we go throughout the next couple of days. It will head in the direction of the East Coast. This is not saying that it will make landfall on the East Coast. It's just saying over the next few days, this will move in the direction of the East Coast. We do believe it will stall, though, as we go farther into the future. That's why we still have that uncertainty in the forecast. The system will, regardless, though, bring flash flooding and dangerous seas to much of the East Coast. That is, without a doubt, what will be happening, the impacts we will be seeing from the system. No matter what, we will see some flash flooding and dangerous seas to many areas in the East Coast. Tropical storm watches are in effect for the coast of Florida and will likely extend to many other areas along the East Coast. So just a heads up with that, we will be seeing, regardless, some impacts in some level along the East Coast. Here's a look at what the GFS model is thinking is going to happen with potential tropical storm or Hurricane Imelda as we go into the next few days and into the beginning of next week. Now, the GFS model is the most similar to the National Hurricane Center forecast. At the moment, that probably will change. The National Hurricane Center doesn't just base it off of one model. They base it off of a mean of some of the models. Once again, but this is just what the GFS model is showing the most likely scenario at the moment. It has Imelda further off to the east, moving a little further off to the east. That definitely could happen, and that would pose more of a threat to areas like Florida. That's why Florida has already issued some tropical storm watches for some of the areas. That's because some of the tropical storm impacts will be reaching to the coast there if this system moves a little farther off to the east. This is what the GFS model is showing. Very close to Florida now. We did expect this to be farther off to the west originally. Now the GFS model is thinking it's going to be maybe a little bit farther off to the east. So that could happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a potential that will happen. This is by Monday next week. Would be strengthening into a hurricane by this point. This is what the GFS model is thinking. The northern parts of the Bahamas getting some impacts from this system, and parts of the east coast of Florida. We will see some possible tropical storm impacts with this system. Regardless, heavy rain, gusty winds, and some very dangerous seas will be in play. This is by Wednesday or Monday morning, This will start to move a little bit quicker as Humberto starts to parallel it. This would be a hurricane by now, what the GFS model is showing. Low-end tropical storm impacts to Florida and Georgia would be possible over the next 2 days. That's very near to the future. We only have a few days to prepare. So if this system makes more of an eastern approach, it will graze some of the Florida and Georgia coast with some extra rainfall and some extra more tropical storm conditions. Heavy rain will be well ahead of Imelda, though, already affecting portions of South Carolina and North Carolina well before this system even nears that area. So as we go a little bit further into the future, you can see the GFS model has this system stalling very quickly right off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. That would cause a lot of devastating rainfall, a lot of devastating flooding along the coast, especially if we get those outer rain bands well ahead of this system. Most models show Imelda being pulled away, though, by Humberto as we go into maybe the middle of next week. This would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the system would stall and possibly move off to the north and east farther into the future. That's just what most of the models are showing right now. Yesterday it was a different picture, but this is just what the GFS model is showing. And lots of models show a lot of different scenarios. Things will change as we go further out into the future, but the slowdown in this system will increase flooding. That is the main threat that we are looking at right now for much of the East Coast. This is why the Weather Prediction Center has already issued a slight risk of flash flooding throughout the day today, because we already have a front sitting over the Appalachian Mountains right now, a stationary front that is already causing heavy rainfall across the Carolinas and will continue to do so over the next few days. This has nothing to do with our tropical system, future tropical storm, or Hurricane Imelda. This is ahead of that system throughout the day today and the day tomorrow. We already have a slight risk of flash flooding across the area, and that is because of all the heavy rainfall. Areas may see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall within an hour with some of these heavier thunderstorms, a lot of heavy rain. Some areas may even see training thunderstorms, may even see 3 to 4 inches over the next couple of days. This is without this system. Higher rain totals will make the flash flooding problem worse, especially when this big tropical system nears the coast of the Carolinas. It will just add on to those rain totals that we've already seen over the past few days and make the problem much worse across much of the East Coast. We have this big area that will be seeing a lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Today, mainly, we expect to see a lot of scattered and widespread showers and thunderstorms. We're already seeing those, and a few flash flood warnings across portions of North Carolina, and we'll continue to see that threat continue into tomorrow, though we do expect to see maybe a small break. That would be very good if we could get some of these areas to dry out a little bit, not get as much rain. But there are still some areas centered along the East Coast, mainly for the coastal regions of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, that still have the chance to see some isolated flash flooding on Sunday. And we don't expect it to be as widespread as today, but there will be some areas still getting a lot of rainfall. Now, as we go farther into the future, this will be more of a matter of what the tropical system does, more of tropical flash flooding. Now, even in front of this tropical system, the front located on the East Coast will draw up moisture from Imelda. Even before the system approaches, there will be a draw of moisture. Likely Sunday night into Monday morning, we'll see a lot of moisture build and cause even more problems with flooding. Even before the system even gets to the Carolinas, it will cause a lot of flooding across portions of Florida, Georgia, once again, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Higher flood threat, a lot of rain, basically all day. Not necessarily really heavy rain, but a lot of rain. Continuous amounts of rainfall over the next few days will cause areas to be very moist. Many areas will see from 10 to 15 inches or more when this is all said and done. And the longer this stalls, the more rain these areas will see over the next few days. Now on to the future. As this system starts to move out, we believe that will happen by mid-next week. This system would either be carried away. I mean, it's kind of hard to predict what is going to happen by midweek next week, because we could either have this system, making landfall in the United States and causing a lot more rainfall sitting over the same areas for a little bit, maybe well into next week, or we could see the system move away and then areas will start to dry out a little bit. Both of these are possibilities, and I'll be continuing to monitor the forecast for the possibilities of this happening. But in the long term, areas to the east will continue to see excessive rainfall, while areas to the west will see more drought over the next that will remain the story over the next couple of days. And as we go further into the future, areas in the southeast will trend wetter than farther out to the west. Areas in the west will remain a lot drier while high pressure builds. And we still don't know how long this system is going to stay here along the East Coast. So there's still a lot of uncertainty with a lot of these models. And once again, I'm trying to, depict what's going to happen, but it's very, very hard. Many scenarios could play out as we go through the next couple of days, maybe even to the next week. So make sure you're checking back for updates. I'll try to post videos every single day updating you on what's going to be happening with this tropical system. As we go further into the future, we do expect the system to move away. Areas along the East Coast and towards the Gulf will remain pretty active, though, with a lot of rainfall. Areas to the west will be trending drier and hotter, while areas to the east trend cooler and rainy over the next week or so, maybe even farther, maybe even more long-term than that. It will remain pretty wet along the East Coast. We could see a few, bursts of rainfall. Some areas in the west, doesn't mean areas in the west won't be seeing any rainfall at all, but the rainfall will be sparse, not as much rainfall, definitely not even near as much rainfall as the Gulf states and towards the East Coast. Rain will continue well into the future, like I said, along the East Coast. Rain total records for the fall may be broken in many areas along the East Coast, especially if we see as much rainfall as we're forecasted to see. And once again, that is all the weather info I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video and supporting the channel and checking back for updates all the time. Thank you to all those who have subscribed to the channel over the past couple of weeks. I really thank you for subscribing and trusting me with these daily forecasts. Once again, a lot of uncertainty as we go throughout the next week. There will be a lot of things changing. A lot of the things that I have said might happen, probably won't happen, and then some things will surprise us. We'll see a lot of rainfall. This tropical system will still be a close call. Areas will be impacted along the East Coast. So make sure you continue to check back for updates, and I will see you in the next video.